So boom, here we are again, mate. While there's a calm and a lull, I'll update you as to what's been going on. I've been chilling. I've been out and about, been relaxing. Just picked up weed. I smoked 2 spliffs out of it on a little drive. Hence the time lapse. And yeah, yesterday, funny enough, I met these girls and at the protest, and I didn't meet them at the protest. They heard me speak at the protest, and then I was outside Tesco, so they recognised me because I was chatting with my mate. And then, yeah, anyway, long story short, like, I went and was chilling with my mate in the day, and yeah, they came by and then they offered to cook breakfast, and that, so I went back to theirs and they cooked me breakfast. Yeah, it was chilled, it was calm. Like, we had a smoke up and a chill session, and I stayed and then came back in the morning, and then obviously tomorrow there's going to be another protest. But yeah, otherwise it was calm. That's what I done for the last 24 hours. Oh shit, I need to go fucking Argos as well. But I just remembered that. Also, I got a fucking bike coming, so we'll be doing the bike videos again. So that should be good, literally. And I've got my GoPro attachments for the bike. So yeah, I know that's been requested once or twice. So yeah. Basically, the protest was just a bit nuts because everyone came peacefully, and the idea was that they wanted to pitch up on their tents, which they did, and just camp there overnight in protest. But that's it, just camp there. And they had juggling and guitar playing, and they was singing, and yeah, mate, literally there was bare singing and shit. I know, it's just singing campfire songs, just nice chilled songs, nothing bad. And then yeah, bit by bit, the police was just stacking up, and then they just appeared, and that was it, just out of nowhere. It was just all calm. Everyone was just getting ready to start setting up campsites, bigger sites and that, and then yeah, they just appeared and just started fucking smacking everyone. And horses came. Yeah, man, it was fucking manic. It was manic. I've never seen that where people are sitting on the ground, even just in in a group, singing, literally singing, this little light of mine and things like this. And what was it? I am a river flowing to the ocean. Proper, just Joey Innocent songs. Literally. And then all of a sudden you just hear, move back, move back. Fucking hell, mate. Just out of nowhere. Mate, they just made it look like all it was here is they were just settling scores because the van got burnt. They're just still salty over that, basically. They just made to look. They just had their pants pulled down in front of the whole world, basically. So that was just them settling scores to get media shots of them smacking people. Literally, that's all it was. Because there was literally no nothing. It was just the police just smacking people. There was no protest, no nothing. In the end, everyone just scattered in different directions because they was just smacking people. So that just was a washout. That lasted I don't know. It lasted long because it was there from 3 until about 12:30. But in terms of actually staying there, the police cleared it in about 5 minutes, literally. Instantly. But just through brute force, mate. Actually, just through brute force. So we'll see how it goes. Literally, we'll see how it goes. There's lots of people that are caught up about it, but at the same time, it's just part of like my I'm not gonna come on here, yeah, and like go to the protest and then come back and then tell you everything bad will happen. Like, oh my gosh, this one got hurt, this one got hurt. There's casualties. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna be casualties. Like yeah, okay, fine. It'll be like a thing to talk about, but that's not the angle I'm coming from. I'm just literally talking about it as I go. But in the moment, like yeah, there's plenty of things that I talk about. And like I say, I'm not just fucking playing Jesus, mate. But it is nice to have positive feedback about what I say, rather than just people just thinking I'm crazy all the time. It's a break from reality. Like I say, don't believe the hype. I actually don't believe the hype. I've had conflicted opinions on the whole protest thing, because it's a case of like, I feel it needs to be done, but it's just a lot of effort. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of effort. And it's just trying to educate people, and obviously everyone's got their own agenda, everyone's got their own reason, but at the same time it's like trying to come together regardless and all be on the same page when it comes to these things. But at the same time, it's very difficult to get that message across. And the way I explained it as well in recent times in the small group, and it's the fact of when the police do something wrong, yeah, or one person does something wrong, they'll all cover, literally, they'll all cover for that person and protect that person. The same as in like the public order situation. Like if you see the police line, if one police officer goes too far back, they'll all call back and pull them back and say, no, come back, stay on the line. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when you're down there protesting, people don't do that. Like they don't stay together. They don't stick together as one. Like regardless, because everyone's there for their own reasons. Like everyone's talking about freedom and coming together in community, but then at the same time they're very selfish in the group that they're talking about. It's just, I don't know. So it's just very difficult. It's very difficult because the people that go to these things here, they're still not quite there. Like, they're still not quite there. But granted, the previous protest was specifically the travelling community that came, who were living on campsites and were living on sites and squats. But at the same time, I think there's some people that are still not fully there in terms of the actual people aspect of it, and because obviously they have got their own issues, and these people are more vulnerable people in society, and they are going to get pushed down. They don't have that same like savvy, I guess. Not to say that people are like less of people, but like I don't know, they're just still not quite there with the the education and the actual like understanding of coming together, like, and what it actually means. Like, they'll say, oh yeah, come together, but then they'll exclude you from the group. Like, do you know what I mean? They still fight amongst each other. Like, it's just like you've got to have that one harmony, even if you don't agree with it on the out front. You need to, and that's how the police succeed. Like, you know what I mean? They look strong, they look big, they look bad, they look like they're bullying, but they're tired, they're worn out, they're worn down. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to be there. Some of them wanted to quit. I saw one police officer, she was crying. Like, do you know what I mean? They're fucking tired. Like, literally, they're tired. But at the same time, they put on that front, that united front. And that's what the people need to do. We all need to get on the same page and have that united front, regardless of what we feel about each other as individuals. And that's why they thrive, because they don't give a fuck about what the person next to them is doing. All they know is that they've got to protect them, and that's it. And that's how they're going to get the job done. But we'll see. Literally, we'll see. I've been staying away from as many sly news cameras as I can, literally. But sometimes it's impossible, they just catch you in precarious positions. On purpose as well, I've noticed. So I'm also very conscious of my actions in terms of like movements and things like this. Like, because they just take one snapshot and edit it down. Like, bastards, bastards. And it's like a case of, yeah, this is like with the whole YouTube situation, yeah, and it's like a case of, oh, you've gone viral, like, we all went viral, like, all of us, like, the whole of our group, like, we've all gone viral, but it's like, what does that actually mean? Like, okay, yeah, fine, I might have, like, I don't know, because then, this is what I don't know, because this is why I say don't believe the hype, but then it's like, I know that it does work, that I talk about these things, and I say these things, because then it's the people that come up to me, just randomly, and will say, like, I was in the court, and I was paying for something, and the guy behind the counter was like, oh, I really enjoy your talk, da 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 da, it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, but then at the same time, I'm still like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, people want to hear it, and they're like, they don't want to say it. And like another guy like that come up to me, he was like, oh, I don't really want to say it, but then I'm glad that you have, because da da da, and it's like brave and all of this and da 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 da. But it's just like, what, like, I don't know. Like, but then at the same time, when you see things like that, it's like, it's actual the benefits. It's not like, you know what I mean, people that are just trying to be nice to me for the sake of it. They don't know who I am. They don't know me. Like, they've got no reason to try and make me feel good about myself. Like, but yeah, mate, it's just, I don't know. I do know, but, and I will continue to push forward. Because the types of things that I say, like I say, the types of things that I say, like, some people just look at me as if I'm mad. Like, it's just like, oh no, that's not true, that's conspiracy, this. But it's like, ugh. Or even still, if they understand, they don't want to take it on. They can't be bothered to actually tackle it. They just leave it and leave it and leave it. And it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? But this is something I can't ignore. Like, I can't just, do you know what I mean? And like, sometimes it kicks off, and when it kicks off, it's a case of, because this is a thing, like I'm saying this before, yeah, it happens, but then it's just like, you can foresee how it goes, and you know what needs to be done, but it's just convincing people that it's the right thing to do. But then sometimes you're not going to convince everyone, and it just needs to be done, and then people will follow on. But it's just like, you've got to have that right balance, because before, you've got to understand that it's like, I do not ever want people to just start smashing up their cities and just burning everything down to the ground, right? We must all be on the same page, like I said, and you must know what you want specifically, right? And for me, I feel we should all hold the government accountable for their actions, both in the United Kingdom and abroad, like literally and abroad, not just here, but across the board. Also, do you know what I mean? The people that we are not in agreement with, yeah, okay, fine, but then you've got to be careful, what do we replace them with? Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of, don't just say, do you know what I mean? This is where the police, this is where the police need to also be involved. So this is where the protests come into play, and where the interaction and the clashes with the police happen. But at the same time, there's a lot of talking and communication, and people are trying to educate the police, because the police need to also hold themselves accountable and make a stand. And if they see that the psychopaths that are running this country, do you know what I mean, are pushing the boundaries, they need to say no. Like, do you know what I mean? Don't carry on enforcing it anyway. And that is where the anger comes towards the police, because it's like, you know that this is wrong, but you're still doing it. So that is where there is a problem. So that's the other thing, is accountability, and the police standing as one and saying no. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're servants, but primarily it's preserving life. And obviously, at the moment, people are dying left, right and centre, so there's not much life being preserved. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Because I've been saying this for a while. Oh, fucking hell. I've been saying this for a while. How do you protect those who are willing to allow themselves to be abused? It's the impossible question. Most people that I've spoken to about this, in person, in depth, thinking I could open up, don't give a fuck. They just tell me to move on, don't overthink things, live my life, get a job, earn money, and suddenly that's everything. Like, do you know what I mean? But like, excuse me, it's fucking good weed though. I think there's more to it than that. I really do think there's more to it than that. Like, how do you protect those who just won't do it? Like, they just allow themselves just to fucking get manipulated, scammed, abused, mentally, physically, whatever it is. Like, how do you do it? I don't know. For example, like I said, they was on the green, right? Singing. Ukuleles, guitars. They had a little amp speaker with a microphone. They was these girls that was singing. She was crying, they was all hugging her, saying about community and all of this. Like, fine, like literally, I'm not making light of it or taking the piss. I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it weren't for me. Like, it weren't for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm more of a party vibe, but like I said, it was a peaceful thing. So they wanted to come with their like, do you know what I mean? Love, man, it's all good, man. I was like, okay, cool, like whatever. And like I say, I don't turn up to anything or anything like that. Yeah, I'm getting excited, da 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 da. But I'm not saying I purposely go out to cause trouble. But they came with their peaceful vibe, right? And it was genuine. Like nobody was there to cause trouble or had any intention of committing violence, right? Or destruction. So like everyone was there, like people was like coming and going up, and then they started to come, and then out of nowhere, they just charge, like, move back, smack, 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 whack, 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 like, and they didn't do nothing, like they didn't do nothing. They were just like, do you know what I mean? They all just sat down and was like, oh, let's sit down, let's sit down, let's sit down. They did not do nothing. And I was like, do not fight the police, do not fight the police. They all went around lecturing everyone, saying, do not get aggressive with the police, da 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 da. And they're just like, what do you mean? They just smacked you on the head, like literally. And it's like, obviously, I go there to talk and like, you know, show support and things like this, and like just give a stable, balanced view and opinion of things, like, do you know what I mean? And it's just a case of like, that is like my main priority, just so everyone could be on the same page, like on the same page, because that's how it's first going to work, through communication. Like literally, the first plan of attack in war, right, is to cut off the enemy's communication. So as soon as people stop talking to each other, that's it, like you can stop picking people off. So it's good for us to be able to talk to one another. Literally, it's really important, because they don't want us to talk to each other anymore. It's just like, oh, fucking hell. It's just divide constantly. But anyway, they've done all of that, and then fucking they were still sitting there trying to sit down on the floor, even though they've been kicked off the grass. All their tents were trampled on. Oh mate, like literally, it was just so sad to see. It was just like, what the fuck. But literally, and then they were still like, don't be violent, don't. And out of respect to them, everyone just kind of like took it, like, do you know what I mean? But it's like, we needed fire, mate. If we had a little bonfire, that was it. They would have fought twice, do you know what I mean? And it was recycling days. Could have easily fucking had it. But they had maybe 20 vans, there's at least 1,000 officers there. They came prepared, like I said, they just wanted to settle scores, to have a massive picture on the front of the paper, say, look how many police officers we had. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, fuck off, mate. It's such a waste of money, mate. Do you know what I mean? Spend that money on fucking giving them bins and keeping them on their sites. Like, literally, don't fucking spend it just fighting them in the street and standing there for nothing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what's the fucking point? But this is my prime example. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed to do? And like I said, my main point is communication. But, like I say, people say, oh, I'm surprised you ain't been arrested yet, da da da. People thought I was a fed because I went around in a North Face coat, right? And they're saying that the police are getting sponsorship of the police, which is actually true, I think. But, like, yeah, like, oh, they sponsor loads of people, don't they? But fucking same with GoPro, mate. What? Yeah, they fucking sponsor fucking all the Black Ops missions, so now what? I'm suddenly fucking CIA because I got GoPro. Fuck off, bro. Literally, if you were where was you when fucking Sly News were calling me a thug, mate? Fuck off. And you're calling me a fed, like, literally. Like, do you know what I mean? I've been open about my past experiences, but like, do you know what I mean? We're all on the same page where I'm at now, mate. Fucking hell. Anyway, what? And then this is where the psychology kicks in, and obviously they get the upper hand, because as soon as you get the upper hand in the police, suddenly it's, oh, thugs attacking the police, vigilantism, and da-da-da. It's like, oh, mate, come on. Like, they just change the narrative. Like, literally, it's just so frustrating. So that is why you should educate yourself and make a point to come to these things and actually see what's going on, because they're just fucking, you know what I mean? Otherwise they'll just keep you indoors and you just take it thinking, oh yeah, everyone's gone nuts and oh, it's not fair, and but it's like you don't understand the fucking tricks and scams they're pulling right now, and using fear with a fucking fake virus as a fucking cover just to implement all these fucked up laws. And then they release the lockdown, and then the lockdown isn't lockdown, it's just a fucking weird world where you can't do anything, so it's still lockdown, but you're just out and about anyway. So it's just like, it's not going to be the same unless people fucking stand up and say no. And it's not just me saying it, like, do you know what I mean? All of us have to come together. That's what I'm saying, we've all got to come together. Like, you see, I'm just fucking letting you know the brochure. Like, basically, I'm just reading you a leaflet of my brain. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, do you know what I mean? You have to be the one to decide, like, what your thoughts are on it from the information you're told. Do your own research, see your own experiences and how people are treated. Do you know what I mean? It's not just one person. It's just something everyone has to be a part of, and it should matter to everyone. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you watched till the end, then safe. Anyway, stay blessed, stay lean, and peace.